Hey guys, welcome back. Today what we're going to be doing is continuing to work on the LQ9 with the 4L65 from the Escalade that we're going to put in the 1970 Chevelle. This is for Craig Monroe. If you guys don't know him, he's an ex-baseball player who was pretty awesome in his day, probably still is really awesome, and he's an announcer currently for the Detroit Tigers. This is his engine. So we did a lot of work on it already. We tore it all down, got the intake off, the heads off, everything's disassembled all the way down to the short block and cams pulled out. Today what we're going to work on is the heads. And we're going to show you today two methods on how to change valve springs, or actually two tools that I've used to change valve springs on LS1 style heads. One of them is universal and it works on the square port style as well as the cathedral port, and then one of them only works on cathedral port. I like the square port style better because they're universal and they can go on anything. I really want to try out someday the Texas Speed spring removal kit that's just one spring at a time that you just use a lever to pull down on, a ratchet to pull down on, and you can release the spring very simply, but I don't have one of those yet, so maybe in the future I'll get one of those and we can do heads with those as well. But later on today, Craig's going to come out, he's going to take a look at this thing, and I'm going to teach him a little bit of things about how to do this, and I'll walk you through what we're doing as we do it. See you then. Alright, so we got two different sets of tools. This tool is a comp cams tool. You've probably heard of comp cams before. Comp cams makes a whole bunch of camshafts and valve train components, all that kind of stuff. Really cool tool, and it's a universal tool for all LS1 style, which is a cathedral port head, that little arch there. And then the LS3 style, which is a rectangular port head. And the rectangular port has an offset intake valve, so you got to have this little thing that slides over so you can get those things off. What we're going to do is, I've already done a lot of this stuff already, like some of it, just set it up. I take this big old socket, you put it over the top, no, not this big, I can get a different one. Put it over the top of these things and you bop it with a hammer, and that relieves these little lockers in here, these little retaining rocks and stuff like that. So I'm going to go through here, we're going to show you how to pull those off. You're going to work on this head here.
Alright.
I'm going to work on that head, because this tool is a lot harder to work than this one. So I want you to have the easier one. So we start out, so I put this pedestal down. We got one rocker to hold the thing on, and then I started down here on this end, and it's got these two bolts down here that hold it to the rocker pedestal. And you put this guy down here, and that's going to compress the springs. I get this bolt, and I'll do this one time every time I do it. A little bit of this black goo.
And what does that do?
This just lubricates the thread so it doesn't strip the threads out, because these things are delicate and they like to strip.
Good.
And so then you put it in here like this. And we're going to screw it all the way down until it touches. Just like that. Put the black glue off me. And then this guy here, we're going to do that. We're going to tighten it down. What you're going to see happen, go ahead and tighten that sucker down. You can spin it all the way around if you want.
Yeah, that's probably the best way there.
And then watch the top of the valve. So the top of the valve, these little round circles right here. And then this is these are locks, little valve locks that go on top there. There's two little half moon shapes in there. You'll see those start to pop up. You see them starting to pop up there? All right, once they're loose, okay, now stop right there. You grab your magnet. You get them with your magnet here like this. And just set them aside. So get these guys out. And these guys go flying if we don't do this right. And we can back this thing off, so flip that over, and now we can back it out. And spin it.
Spin it and get it done with.
Spin it all the way out.
That tool made that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, because you already had it on there first, but that made
easy.
that very,
Very easy.
Yeah, it did.
The little tool you get at AutoZone that grabs the hold of this thing like this and pushes down on it, breaks every other spring, and it's worth spending the money on this thing. You don't have to back it all the way out, just where it's kind of loose there. And then we'll get this guy, pick that up, get out of the way. We'll take the valves, take these little keepers off the top. We're going to save these and use these. Put those over there, put these in the bucket. And now, we're gonna get the valve seals off. Valve seals are these guys right around the stems. Squeeze it kind of hard, turn it like that, and pop it off. Drop in the bucket.
Woo, baby.
Pull
So
straight up.
squeeze it.
Squeeze it, pull straight up. There you got it. Drop it in the bucket. All right. Now I like to get a little towel here because this oil sits underneath those things and they get kind of dirty. So I can clean those out, kind of get them pretty good. They don't have to be perfect, but if there's any grime in there or anything like that, let's get the grime out.
Well, how about this? Of the fact that I'm using tools.
Dude, you got it, man.
It's pretty cool. That was awesome. And so you want to clean that, right? You want to.
Yeah, you want to kind of clean it. Just get like the old crusty nuggets that have been in there for a while. Get those things off there. You know what I mean? So that's pretty good right there. And they've already got a little bit of oil on there because they're nice and lubed up. But I like to get the new guides or the new valve seals. The little WD-40. Oh, I feel my finger already. Yeah. And then when you put them on, make sure it doesn't stretch the top too much. And then push them down with your fingers. As far as they go, they're not going to go all the way down. So then you get, cut my finger. With this guy, put it over the top so it sits on nice and flush. Get a hammer. Give it a nice little tap. And you can feel it kind of seat. That little sound, when it sounds solid, it's on there. Gosh, man.
Yeah, that's it going on
I
here.
got myself good. Someone that was sharp. Next step, get a valve spring. One there. One there. Hair out of there. These guys, put them on top.
And
Okay. This tool, right here. Neat. And then turn that guy down there
even.
until you got room. You're gonna have to flip that little switch on the end there so it tightens. Once we get it down there nice and even, then we'll put those little locks in there, those little keepers. You grab these guys, they're beveled. The narrow side goes down, the thick side goes up. They're kind of half moon shaped, so there's one of them fits on that side, another one fits on the other side. Alright, those two are on.
Put that.
It might be okay.
I dropped
You
it.
dropped one down there? That's
Yeah.
why we got this magnet. So we'll get the magnet down here.
I dropped
Magnet
it.
works wonders.
So I should have probably on this side.
See if we can get it down there. Let's do this. Let's move this guy around. Put this guy on the side. Okay. Now let's try to back this thing off pretty slow and just kind of, I'm going to keep my fingers over the top of these just so they don't come shooting out. Put that little switch in there. There we go. I think they're going to hold. Yeah, go for it.
Just let it go.
Yeah, let it go. I'll just keep my eyes open in case one flies out. They should be good now. And that should come all the way out. And you don't have to move it all the way out that bolt, just give it like a quarter of an inch of the way off of that. Yeah, that should be good. And now we can move the tool to the next one, do the next one. You got it?
Yeah, I guess I should pull it up a little bit higher.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, a little bit.
You got it figured out? I think you do.
I think so.
I think you do.
I think so. I think so.
Take this guy out here.
Okay. I think so. And then we'll take that out and move it over.
Move it over.
Yep.
Yep. You did a full set of valves right there, pretty much by yourself. What in the world?
Recorded for duty.
Nice. You got some cold snacks too.
Yeah, put some cold snacks in there.
From the fridge?
Yeah. This is a nice workstation you got going here. What's up, boss?
Not much.
You know how to do all this too?
Well, I'm kind of learning.
Oh, okay. Oh man.
He knows 10 times more than I did when I was his age. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Hop on one of these.
Oh, yeah. You hot already?
Yeah, it's time.
Grab one too.
Yeah, it's time. You know more. You knew Jim at 16.
When I was 16, I didn't know stuff. I started figuring it out on my own, but I didn't know the stuff he knows.
So you're gonna be doing your own.
Yeah. Hopefully, when I'm grown up and have my own car, I can work on it. So.
Instead of having
your
your
own cars.
Yeah, mess up your own car to be fun.
Yeah.
And then fix it. It'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted to buy that intake, man.
That intake is sweet. If you want to buy it,
I'm
I
so
would
tempted.
love to throw it on her. We got to make sure it's the mid-rise cheers.
Sure, it is. Is that the UTF?
Mid-rise or low-rise, because the high-rise one won't fit under your hood.
No.
Yeah.
I looked at a bunch of them, Jeff. I was like, oh my God, that just looks great.
They do look good.
They really do.
Yeah.
I mean, you said this is gonna have more power and all that, but man, that
It
thing.
will. It makes it look like a really, really cool vehicle. So, I mean, yeah, if you want to do
We're
it.
there. You let me. We'll get to the door. We'll see where we're at, and then yeah, if we can pull
Okay.
that off.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna try to roll it
Oh, I'm gonna be jealous. You're gonna make me look. I'll get one too.
I'll
If
do
you
it.
get one, I'll get one.
I want to. I think we should.
No, come over here. Bring it over here.
Uh-oh.
Remember when you pulled the cam out last time?
Yeah, you
We're
gotta
going
be
in there. You
careful.
gotta go nice and slow. I put 2 bolts in there. You can hang on to those bolts when you get close to the end. But every time you get to a journal about to go into that bearing, make sure you got it nice and square and just easy with it so you don't scuff up those bearings. There you go. Yep. See how easy that goes in? It'll be just like that all the way through.
If I can keep it on. Is that close?
Boom.
Boom! Shakalaka!
You got it.
I got it.
Nice.
How about that?
30 towels there. You can just work them off.
Cam,
Tell us what we're doing.
We are putting Loctite on an old thingamajig, and we're putting it on we're screwing it into the flex plate and the torque converter. Oh shoot, that's way too much.
Awesome. It's fine. It's good. Is it lined up to where you can get it in by hand?
Yeah.
Sweet. Engine's looking good, buddy. You've done a good job. So this is the third bolt. There's 3 bolts that go from the flex plate to the converter to hold them together. We put red Loctite on all of them.
Yep.
And this is the third bolt, so we're gonna tighten it up snug. Then we're gonna go back around and we're gonna torque every single one of them to 44 foot-pounds. And we should never have any problems with these bolts.
Correct.